The NFL Combine is here, and with that being the case, we know the NFL Draft is right around the corner. And with this being Frank Reich's first offseason with the Carolina Panthers, we all want to know, how is he going to approach the first pick he's going to make of his team? And today, we'll talk about it. You're listening to Money in the Bank. So Frank Reich and Scott Fritterer had their press conferences at the Combine today, and they said some things that left Panthers Nation either feeling happy or sad, depending on where you fall on the spectrum. One of these things were about Derek Carr. Frank Reich had positive things to say about Derek Carr, which he should. They have met with Derek Carr already. They do feel that he's a guy that they are going to explore that option at possibly being the starting quarterback for the team this season. Scott Fritterer, the guy that right now, he's open. From what he said, he's open to any and everything, and they're going to explore every single option that is out there for them this offseason. So you're going to hear a lot of names come up that you may not like, but I'd say slow your roll. Don't take it too serious just yet. The Panthers are scheduled to meet with him again on Monday. I'm going to give this group the benefit of the doubt in saying that they are going to explore all of their options. Scott said it. Frank said it. They have been given the keys, and they've been given the resources to go make this thing happen and to build it however they see fit. David Tepper has made it known that he wants a winning ball club. He wants a championship level ball club. That's why you see the amount of coaches that we've gotten that have decades of NFL experience combined. You see that coaching staff be built the way it has for a reason. They want experience and they want winning. You're seeing them explore every option through rookie quarterbacks and through free agent quarterbacks. They're going to vet out every single option. So you're going to hear some names this year in this offseason that you may not like. And I won't say I disagree, but we're going to hear a lot of the names. So I think maybe for us, maybe not overreact to everything that we hear, but take it in with caution. With Derek Carr, Frank Reich mentioned a lot of positive things about Carr, as far as his leadership, what he's done in this league, and his age. He's still saying that he's still in prime quarterback age. So again, there are positives there for Frank as to why he would want to jump on the Derek Carr bandwagon. For me, a guy that's 31 going on 32, never won a division title, has 4 Pro Bowls, but hasn't won anything significant. Doesn't have an MVP, not even the MVP, the end all be all, but doesn't even have an All Pro appearance on his resume. Any of that, I look at that and say, he's a guy that's been an above average quarterback for the majority of his career. I think he's one of those guys that we understand who he is. I don't think you're getting anything more than that. The 2016 season was the best version of him that you were going to get. That version got him 12 wins with the Raiders that year. And that's good. That's good. But for a guy that's going to demand about $35 million a year, I can't see that for us. We're a team right now that's already cash strapped, and you have other guys you have to pay as is. Brian Burns, you have to get that deal done. Bradley Bozeman needs to be re-signed. Deontay Foreman, the guy that I think should be on the priority list of free agents that we had from last season. And possibly Shaq Thompson and having to either restructure or release. So there's a lot of work that has to be done money-wise for the Carolina Panthers. Derek Carr just doesn't fit into that. Do I think he can play? Yeah, I think he can play. I think he would be a fine quarterback. I just don't think this is the quarterback that, one, he's not the future. And two, he's got a cash strap. So for those reasons alone, Derek Carr is off of my radar. Now, Sam Darnold, they have explored the option of re-signing him. I don't know how many people feel about Sam Darnold returning as a bridge quarterback, but I tell you this, I didn't think it was great bringing Sam Darnold in this past season. But obviously, we assigned a 5th-year option before he played it down in his first season here with the Carolina Panthers. Bringing Sam Darnold in for a 3rd season, where he would likely be the day 1 starter, is not ideal for the fan base. I understand what how the fan base feels about this. You don't want to see him return, even though he did have a good stretch of games at the end of the year. And I'll give credit where credit is due. I did start to see what I thought is a quarterback maturing into what could be a solid quarterback and possibly one that you could compete with. And for example, I take the Tampa game, the second one obviously that he played in, and I know it was littered with a couple of turnovers, the fumble snap, and the interception. But if I take away the 3 touchdowns given up by Keith Taylor and C.J. Henderson, and I look at and I hate to have to take away plays because these plays did happen. But if I look at the meat of what he did in that game, Sam Darnold looked like a guy that turned the corner and was looking to play a competitive level of quarterback in this game. And I really wanted to see what they could do in the playoffs. I really wanted to see how that would look because maybe that was enough maybe that extra look in the playoffs could have been enough for us to see like, oh, okay, do we definitively know we can compete with this guy moving forward? But it would have put us in a bind where we kind of were stuck with him moving forward as well. And that I don't want to be either. Do I think Sam's a horrible option? No. Is that the option I want moving forward? I'll be honest. And obviously my co-host Jason has stood on the table for this guy. I'd rather see Matt Corral and whatever rookie we draft battle it out in camp and go from there. That's what I would rather see than see Sam Darnold return as the starter for the Carolina Panthers. Now, moving on to the rookies. They've talked to 6 thus far. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, Max Duggan, and Hendon Hooker. They seem impressed with Richardson. Things have come out. Little feelers have been thrown out there by Anthony Richardson to Carolina. I think that would be a great fit. I think with what the physical tools that he has and the coaching staff, Frank Reich, Josh McCown, Jim Caldwell, those 3 alone, I love as far as being guys that I think can insulate him with the right knowledge and the right tools to be able to go out and have success early on in his young NFL career. And honestly, for whoever will be the starting quarterback, I think they would have a great staff to work with as well. So for the most part, I think most quarterback options are open for this group. And even for Scott Fritterer. Scott Fritterer mentioned in his presser that if you got a guy that you want, you go get him. Don't wait around. Don't second guess this. You go get your guy. And that was a big message that should be taken as a real message to the fan base that more than likely we're going to go get our guy. Whoever that is, whenever that is, we're going to go get him. He doesn't want to be in the top 10. He mentioned that. He doesn't want to be picking in the top 10 anymore. He feels that this is the year and this is great and there's a great opportunity for us to go get our guy this year so we don't have to be here for a very long time. And again, no price is too big if you talk about your franchise guy, in all honesty. Now what does that mean as far as some of the guys that we have coming out that are coming out? I think they like it. I think I have a general sense of who they like. It seems Will Levis is a name that's been thrown around. I don't have anything definitive on that. The guy they've spoken about, Young, Stroud, and Richardson, all seem to have higher favor with them. All seem to be guys that not age isn't really even a big issue, but I think have more arm talent and have shown more things on tape that, at least with Richardson and Levis, it's about the same. It's about 1A and 1B with those 2 guys. But Levis having played more and still not shown a significant amount of growth or a significant amount of separation between him and Richardson, to me is telling. Stroud and Young, clearly the top 2 guys in this draft. However you see fit, I would probably take Stroud now because I think all the things that Young does well, that seems to just be natural for him, I think Stroud can do. I think Stroud just needs a little bit more time. And again, the reins being loosened a little bit more than what they were at Ohio State. But for Carolina right now, I think the answer is going to be drafting your guy. I don't think we're going to have to worry about a Derek Carr situation. You may still see Sam Darnold there because of him being a cheaper option than Derek Carr and him being maybe the preferred bridge option for this team, even though you're gonna have to trade up and you're gonna have to players. If you're gonna go with Anthony Richardson, I'm gonna tell you there's one obvious answer to who should be the bridge quarterback for him. We'll leave that at that. For the other two, I think I would, in all honesty, you go with if you go with the other two, Brissett or Stroud. I think you go. Sorry, if you go with the other two, Stroud and Young, you go Jacoby Brissett as the bridge option for those guys. But thus far, we do have the blueprint as to what's going to happen. They are interested in getting their guy. They are intrigued by what could be with Derek Carr because free agency happens immediately after the NFL Combine. So they have to be proactive with these things. Take them for what they are. Don't read too much into it. We'll see. I don't think a $30 million play is going to happen before the NFL draft and before we get a chance to see if we can get our guy. I think you're going to see the trade options be vetted a lot more thoroughly than you see with the free agent options. I think they are off. I just don't believe that the free agent option is the option this team wants to go if you're talking about building towards the future. But that's just me. You've been listening to Money in the Bank. I'm your host, Shanti Stewart. I know this offseason's been a little dry thus far, but we're gonna get more into this thing as the weeks and days move along, and you will see this a lot more. So with that being said, I'm out.